In the far reaches of the galaxy, empires rose and fell, their fleets shining bright among the stars, but none paid attention to the small, blue planet called Earth. Humans were seen as weak, slow, and unimportant, creatures too simple to matter in the great cosmic game. The rulers of the Andorian Empire often laughed when Earth was mentioned. Primitive animals trying to touch the stars, they said, mocking humans in every council and hall. Far away from the grand palaces of alien lords, on Earth, life was quiet and ordinary. Cities thrived with humans busy in their work, unaware of the laughter their existence caused. Yet beneath the surface, hidden from the eyes of the galaxy, something remarkable was being built, something that no empire could imagine. Earth had a secret, a prototype fleet designed not for show, but for survival and power. The prototype ships were small, sleek, and strange. Their design was nothing like the massive, ornate ships of the galaxy, yet they held technology that could change everything. Humans had learned to combine speed, intelligence, and cunning in ways no one had thought possible. Only a few scientists and commanders knew the full potential of the fleet, and they kept it hidden, because the galaxy would never understand it until it was too late. One day, a scout from the Andorian Empire flew near Earth, its sensors detecting unusual energy patterns. The aliens expected a small, useless signal, something they could ignore, but the signal was unlike anything they had seen. It pulsed with power, and yet it seemed alive. The scout reported back, its data filled with questions and warnings. Yet the Empire ignored it, laughing again at the idea that Earth could matter. It is nothing, they said, just a tiny planet trying to pretend it is important. Meanwhile, on Earth, the prototype fleet was ready. Humans worked silently in massive underground hangars, testing engines, weapons, and shields. Every human involved understood one truth: the galaxy would never see them coming. The commanders watched simulations, smiling quietly as they imagined the moment when the Empire's laughter would turn into shock. Among the scientists, there was excitement and fear. The power they held was unmatched, and yet it had to be used carefully. Back in the Empire, emissaries spoke of Earth as a joke. They shared stories of humans struggling to survive on a weak planet. They could not see the clever minds, the hidden strength, or the courage that burned quietly among humans. Even the youngest cadets laughed, calling humans the little monkeys of the galaxy. But in that laughter was ignorance, and ignorance can be dangerous. As night fell on Earth, the stars shone brighter than ever. The hidden fleet glimmered faintly in its secret hangars, waiting, watching, ready. The galaxy laughed, and the humans listened, knowing that one day, their time would come, the day when the Andorian Empire, and every other empire that mocked them, would finally see what Earth had created. And in the quiet darkness, the first engines of the prototype ships hummed softly, a whisper of power that the universe had never felt before. The galaxy laughed at Earth, unaware that the laughter was counting down to a storm that would rise from a planet no one had taken seriously, a storm called humanity. The galaxy still laughed at Earth, believing the small planet could never matter. Yet deep beneath the cities, in hidden hangars carved into mountains and deserts, humans were preparing something no one could imagine. The prototype fleet, quiet and unseen, waited for the signal that would change everything. The ships glimmered under the dim lights, their sleek forms humming softly with hidden energy. Commander Orin walked through the hangar, his eyes scanning every ship, every panel, every line of code. He had studied this fleet for years, guiding its creation from a dream into reality. He paused before a ship twice the size of the others, the heart of the prototype. "Soon," he whispered, "they will see." The scientists worked tirelessly, checking engines, weapons, and shields. Every detail mattered, every calculation could decide the fate of humanity. These ships were small but deadly, fast but strong, and their systems were designed to think like humans, to adapt and surprise. The Empire had never faced anything like this. They had only seen size and power, not intelligence and cunning combined. A young scientist named Lyra adjusted the energy core of one prototype, her hands steady, her mind focused. "If we activate the fleet now, the Empire will panic," she said quietly. "But we must wait," Commander Orin nodded. "Patience is the greatest weapon," he said. "The galaxy must underestimate us until the right moment." Meanwhile, sensors in orbit detected movement near the planet. An alien fleet, small but alert, was approaching Earth's atmosphere. They had picked up unusual signals, ones that did not match any known technology. The Empire sent scouts, expecting to find nothing. But the signals were clever, layered with secrecy, designed to mislead, confuse, and hide. Even as they approached, the aliens could not tell what was real, what was a trap. Back on Earth, the fleet systems came alive with soft lights and low hums. The prototype ships were no longer just machines. They were extensions of human minds. Every ship responded instantly to commands. Every weapon calibrated itself. Every system was ready for the impossible. Today, they still laugh, Commander Orin said to his team. But soon, the universe will know fear. The aliens in orbit were curious now, puzzled by what they had found. Their scanners showed nothing conventional, yet energy readings were enormous. It cannot be, one said. No planet should hold such power. They sent messages back to the Empire, but they were dismissed as overreactions. Earth was still just a joke to the rulers of the galaxy. As night fell again on the planet, the prototype fleet waited silently, hidden in shadows, waiting for the signal that would begin its journey into the stars. Humans knew the risks, knew that discovery could bring war, but they also knew their time had come. The galaxy's laughter had gone on for too long, and it would soon end. In secret, the ships aligned themselves, engines humming, lights glowing, and a sense of destiny filled the air. No one in the Empire suspected that a storm was coming. No one imagined that a planet they called weak was about to rise. The humans had patience, strategy, and courage on their side, and when the fleet finally moved, it would be fast, precise, and unstoppable. The secrets of the prototype were safe, for now, but the universe would soon awaken to them. The galaxy still laughed at Earth, but the laughter was ending. The humans of Earth were ready, and the first step of their plan was about to begin. The first engines roared to life in the hidden hangars, sending vibrations through the Earth beneath. Commander Orin stood at the command center, watching the fleet align in perfect formation. Every ship gleamed with power, every weapon ready. The galaxy had mocked Earth for centuries, but now, humans were about to show what they had built. The sky above Earth shimmered with the glow of engines igniting, invisible at first to the naked eye. Sensors in orbit and across nearby systems suddenly detected massive energy spikes. Alien scouts trembled as their instruments recorded the impossible. They had underestimated humans, and that mistake would cost them dearly. One by one, the prototype ships lifted off, sliding into the darkness of space with incredible speed. They moved like shadows, silent but deadly, invisible until it was too late. The fleet was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Sleek, fast, intelligent, and coordinated as if the ships shared one mind. Commander Orin smiled quietly. They think we are weak, but they will see. He pressed a final button, and the fleet activated its advanced cloaking system, disappearing from all scanners except those designed by humans. The alien Empire's fleet nearby was confident, their captains laughing at the small planet below. It's just Earth, they said. No threat, no challenge. Then, without warning, the hidden fleet struck, emerging from the shadows. The ships moved faster than any known technology. Their weapons unleashed beams of energy that disabled alien shields before the enemies could react. Entire squadrons of the Empire's scouts vanished in seconds. Panic spread like wildfire through the command centers of alien fleets. The humans did not fight to destroy. They fought to control and surprise. Using clever tactics, the fleet surrounded larger ships, forcing them to surrender or flee. Alien leaders could not understand the strategy. Every move of the humans was precise. Every ship acted with intelligence and cunning, something no empire had anticipated. Lyra, the young scientist, watched the holographic display of the battle. They are faster, smarter, they are unstoppable, she said, amazed. Commander Orin nodded. This is only the beginning, he replied. The galaxy will learn that humans are not to be ignored. The Empire's communication lines were flooded with alarms, reports of ships disappearing, strange attacks, and impossible maneuvers. Yet they still underestimated humans, thinking these were small victories, not realizing that the prototype fleet was just a glimpse of Earth's hidden power. As the battle continued, humans pushed forward with precision, disabling key enemy ships without unnecessary destruction. It was a display of intelligence, courage, and perfect coordination. The galaxy watched in disbelief as the small planet they laughed at unleashed a storm, and no one could stop it. From orbit, Commander Orin looked at Earth, the blue planet calm and serene. He knew that the Empire had finally noticed, and the laughter would soon end. The fleet glided through space, unstoppable, proving that humans were no longer weak or primitive. They were the storm that no one had expected, the force that would change the galaxy forever. And as the alien fleet scrambled, the humans moved forward with a quiet confidence, their prototypes blazing trails of light across the darkness. The galaxy had laughed at Earth for too long, and now, it would bow to a power no one believed existed. The human fleet had emerged, and the universe would never be the same. The galaxy shook as the human fleet pressed forward. Alien ships scrambled in panic, but even their numbers could not stop the precision of Earth's forces. Commander Orin watched the battle unfold, his eyes calm, his mind sharp. Every move of the humans was planned, every strike calculated. The Empire's arrogance had blinded them to the possibility that a small planet could wield such power. The first wave of alien warships fired their massive cannons, expecting to crush the human fleet in seconds. But the humans moved with speed that machines could not match, dodging blasts, striking weak points, and using clever formations that confused the enemy. Every alien captain was stunned. How can such a small fleet do this? They asked, but no answer came, only the silent, deadly advance of humans. From the command center, Lyra monitored energy shields and weapon systems. They are outsmarting them at every step, she said, amazement in her voice. Commander Orin nodded. The galaxy underestimates humans, and that is their greatest weakness. He tapped the controls, sending small, hidden ships to disable alien communications, turning the Empire's coordination into chaos. Explosions lit the darkness of space, but the humans avoided unnecessary destruction. They struck to disable, to weaken, to outmaneuver, not to annihilate without purpose. Every move showed intelligence, patience, and courage. The Empire, which had mocked Earth for centuries, now struggled to survive. Fear spread among their ranks, as ships fell or fled without understanding how humans had outsmarted them. The flagship of the Andorian Empire, massive and heavily armed, moved to confront the humans. Its captain believed sheer power could end the threat, but humans had prepared for this. Using speed, strategy, and unpredictability, the fleet surrounded the flagship, cutting off escape routes, disabling weapons one by one. The alien captain realized too late that strength alone could not defeat the humans. Meanwhile, smaller battles raged across nearby systems. Humans showed courage and teamwork, helping each other, covering weak points, and saving damaged ships. Even young pilots proved their worth. Their actions were clever and brave, showing the galaxy that humanity was not only strong but also united. As the battle reached its peak, alien leaders in distant systems watched in horror. Reports of human victories spread like wildfire. Entire fleets crumbling, ships disappearing, colonies isolated. No one could believe that a planet so small, so overlooked, had caused such chaos. The arrogance of the Empire had blinded them, and now they were paying the price. Commander Orin's voice echoed through the command center. Hold your positions, strike with precision, and never underestimate the power of humanity. The fleet moved like one organism, anticipating attacks, countering every move, and striking with deadly efficiency. Alien captains could not understand the strategy, the intelligence, or the courage of humans. They were outmatched in every way. By the end of the battle, the Empire's forces were scattered, damaged, and fearful. Humans had shown that brains and courage could triumph over size and arrogance. The galaxy that laughed at Earth could no longer ignore it. From the calm of their planet, humans watched their fleet return, victorious but ready. The war was not over yet, but one truth had become clear. The Empire would never recover from the shock of humanity. And as the stars returned to their quiet shimmer, Commander Orin looked to the horizon, knowing that the next step would decide the fate of the galaxy. The clash had begun, and humans had already won respect they never asked for but fully deserved. The remnants of the Andorian Empire trembled across the galaxy, their fleets scattered, their colonies isolated, their leaders confused and desperate. They had mocked humans for centuries. But now, Earth had risen as a power they could never ignore. Commander Orin stood at the command center, watching the final phase of their plan unfold. Every ship of the human fleet was ready, engines humming, weapons prepared, and minds sharp. From orbit, the largest alien warships were surrounded, trapped by strategy, speed, and intelligence. They fired their weapons in panic, but the humans anticipated every move, using clever tactics. The fleet disabled shields, cut communications, and forced surrender. Alien admirals watched helplessly. It cannot be, a small planet. They whispered. Shock replaced arrogance, fear replaced laughter. The Empire had underestimated humans, and that mistake was fatal. On the ground, humans celebrated silently, knowing their fleet was unstoppable but respecting the lives spared. Commander Orin smiled. We fight for survival, for intelligence, for the galaxy to see humanity as we are, he said. Every soldier, pilot, and scientist understood their role. Each had contributed to a victory that no one thought possible. Lyra watched the energy displays, the beams of light disabling enemy ships. We did it, she whispered, amazement in her voice. Commander Orin shook his head slightly. This is only the first step, but it is a step they will never forget. Humanity had shown strength, strategy, and courage, a force that the galaxy would never laugh at again. The alien empire tried to regroup, sending desperate messages across systems. But humans had already cut off their communication networks. Their fleets could not organize, and their colonies had no support. One by one, the Empire's power centers fell. Their arrogance had blinded them to the truth. Humans were clever, united, and unstoppable. In the darkness of space, the human fleet moved with purpose, not to destroy everything, but to show order and strength, to protect their planet and teach the galaxy a lesson it could never forget. Alien fleets surrendered or fled. Entire systems watched in awe. The galaxy that had laughed at Earth now looked with fear, respect, and wonder. Commander Orin gazed at the stars, knowing humanity had earned its place. The planet that was once ignored had become a legend. The prototype fleet, once a secret, now the symbol of human ingenuity and courage. Every pilot, every scientist, every human involved felt pride. Their planet, their people, had proven that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the greatest empire. And as the dust of battle settled, humans returned to their worlds, their ships quiet, engines humming softly. The galaxy had changed forever. The laughter was gone, replaced by whispers of respect, of awe, and sometimes fear. Earth had risen, not by chance, but by preparation, strategy, and the unbreakable spirit of its people. And so, the human fleet glided home, victorious and ready. A new era had begun. The empire that laughed had fallen, and the galaxy would never forget the name of humanity. From forgotten prototype to unstoppable force, the story of Earth had become legend. The universe had learned a simple truth: never underestimate humans.